Good morning, book lovers of the internet. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe because for every subscriber, I get a new subscriber, and they also read a page from any book of my choice. So I just had to part with a very beloved statue of mine, and in today's video, I am going to be reviewing this book by Michael Phelps called Beneath the Surface. So I rated this one 5 stars, and it has about 280 pages, and I read it in about 2 weeks, a few chapters every day, a very simple read to get through. Um, Short chapters, a lot of progress being made by Michael Phelps himself, and therefore it is very motivational. And you'd want to keep on reading because of how interesting his life generally is, I suppose. This guy from Baltimore in Maryland, United States. And as a swimmer myself, this autobiography taught me so much about the importance of consistency, I suppose. It's not luck as much as it is hard work. So this is something which people like Andrew Tate and David Goggins mention very frequently as well, and so many other athletes who take what they do very seriously. Phelps is an idol of mine, if you perhaps haven't realized already, and his humility and charm never fail to impress me. He is a very down to earth guy from the interviews I've watched and from what I read in this book itself, and I appreciate how it is also about the people who motivated him and were there throughout his journey of becoming the greatest athlete of all time. I believe this was published in around 2016, so things may have changed since then. I don't really keep myself posted regarding sports or athletics. I just really enjoy swimming. It is a very motivational read, which I would recommend to swimmer friends of mine and perhaps people who are watching who are also swimmers, but also those who just like to keep fit and also aspire to achieve their dreams through putting in the work and the hours. And if you don't do that already, I suggest that you read this book in order to feel like you can achieve what Michael has with his hard work and consistency. You might not always see results, sometimes you might get bad results, but those are the things which keep us moving forward, I suppose. And Michael Phelps never gives up, he never surrenders and he knows his worth. He just hates losing in any context whatsoever. I love the fact that his child is called Boomer. It's such a funny name, I suppose. And I also appreciate how his mother and Coach Bob are two people without whom he'd never have accomplished so much, and how he makes this extremely evident throughout the book, without his mother taking him to practice, without Coach Bob pushing him beyond his potential, and always striving to see him improve and get better. He wouldn't have succeeded as much, perhaps, as he did with them around. And his modesty is impressive, to mention this again because it's such a huge part of the book, in the way he writes and the way he says things. Um, Considering how much he has to be proud of, and how he knows that so many wish to be in his shoes, he is extremely modest and humble, down to earth. I love that about him. I'd say that despite his great influence in the world of swimming, he is still extremely underrated and deserves way more attention than he already has because he's turning the lives around for so many people and making them appreciate sport in general, I suppose, not just swimming. And the attention he strives to bring towards the sport of swimming and the love for the sport he tries to inspire is unfortunately slowly waning as so many people grow lazier and undervalue the importance of learning a skill and completely crushing it like he does with swimming. All four techniques. Breaststroke technique is his worst stroke, but he still does all he can to improve it. In this day and age, many people are alienated with social media and they spend a lot of time lazying about and not picking something and becoming the extreme best they can, much like I am trying to be with YouTube, for instance. They just lazy about and waste their lives away, and before they know it, 8 years have gone by and they're dead, which is quite a morbid way of saying that so many people will never reach their potential, and it is reads like this one that will perhaps get them out of the slump they're in, and help them realize that they're wasting so much time. And one thing I'd like to criticize about this book that might seem silly is in regards to the placement of the images. So with this autobiography, right, I've read a lot of biographies and autobiographies before, but with this one, the The images are placed in the center, and they are very pretty images, you know, quality images over there with the respective information they require. But we got spoiled for the death of Phelps' grandma. Now, I know that this is not a work of fiction, so it's not something to make fun of, you know, it's a family member of his, and her passing must have been horrendous, as he mentions in the book. But I'd rather have pictures in black and white than in full color, and them actually having to do with what is being said in the respective chapters, you know. And although they're amazing pictures, that is the way I'd much rather have a biography. That is the only thing which I would like to argue about against this book, perhaps, but I still rated it 5 stars because of how well written it is, you know. Phelps also taught me a lot about the irrelevance of going to school or college, you know, and how pointless it can be. And he also makes the juxtaposition of how wildly important education is, despite not getting an education at a school or a college. You know, you can aspire to learn anything, become the best person you can be, without ever stepping foot in a school, unless it is mandated by law, I suppose. One last thing is that I absolutely love this book, and I would certainly recommend it to anyone who enjoys sports and who needs something to motivate them. And also a very quick read, so it will help you with your Goodreads goal as well. Um, as usual, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, leave a comment, share, subscribe. I reply to all comments, and I'd like to get to know you better. Thank you so much for 1080 subscribers. It's absolutely diabolical how quickly my channel is growing. Thank you so much for viewing my shorts and for tuning in during my live streams. And I'll see you in the next one, hopefully very, very soon. Bye, guys.